You okay?
We're fine. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Badass suit, Dad.
Why did you make me do this?
I feel like they were so close. That they were so close to making a great Mortal Kombat movie. Because there's a lot to like about this movie. There's a lot of stuff that I was like, well, that was really cool. That was pretty great. I hope I get more of that. Then there's some parts that are bad. There are some parts where you're like, why did you do this?
You'll be safe here, Allie. You heard what Jack said. That thing is hunting people with a marking.
I don't understand. Like, you get some parts are just perfect, and some parts are just terrible. Just obviously terrible. It's an uneven movie. It's like you want to love it, but you can't because there's just too many little problems. Little problems, I say. They're big problems, a lot of them. But before we get into this one, I do have to give you the standard 2 warnings. Here they are.
Warning, the following audio-visual content contains major spoilers. Warning, subscribe to Vito or perish in the flame.
Now, this movie starts off, and it's fantastic. That opening scene in the Japanese village, we meet who will eventually, of course, become Scorpion. I believe his name's Hanzo. And then we meet this guy who's going to be Sub-Zero. His name's Jonzo. I don't actually know Sub-Zero's name. The point is that Scorpion, I guess, has a family. He has a wife. He's got 2 kids. He goes to get some water while he's gone. Sub-Zero, who's a Chinese man, I believe. So Scorpion's Japanese, Sub-Zero's Chinese. Chinese guy comes in your village, kills your wife, kills your kid. This whole scene looks fantastic. Okay, they got a great little set in the woods. It looks like kind of like a period drama, one of these samurai films. And right off the bat, they have this awesome fight. You know it's going to be the R-rated experience you wanted. The previous Mortal Kombat movies, whatever you want to say about them, good or bad, they did not have the R-rated violence that the fans want. Here, right off the bat, friggin' Scorpion is snapping necks. He stabs a guy right through the top of the head. And then, of course, the big showdown, him versus Sub-Zero. It's great. He's got the thing on the end of the rope. Now, I don't know if this is something he's improvised or I'm like, wow, he's really good at fighting with this gardening tool that he just picked up. I feel like he practiced. But he's whipping the thing around like him and Sub-Zero. It's just an incredible fight. If this had been an entire samurai story just set in the past between these 2 guys, like, I would have loved it, I think. Everything about this was beautiful. And then comes Cole.
What the hell is even that?
Cole. Good old Cole. Dude, I was watching this movie with my buddies. Now, I had heard ahead of time that the movie had a new character, so I kind of knew it was up, but I was like, is that him or is that Liu Kang? No, it's not Liu Kang, it's Cole. Cole is a guy. What are your favorite Mortal Kombat characters? That was the joke we kept making during the movie. We're like, God, I hope Cole's okay. I hope my favorite Mortal Kombat character, Cole, is doing fine. I want to say I understand what the screenwriter was trying to do. This person thought about things way too much. For some reason, the scriptwriter decided that Mortal Kombat, or at least this Mortal Kombat movie, should be about the relationship between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Which, yes, is like a fan favorite pairing because they're the 2 ninjas from the game. You know, when your buddy picked Scorpion, you'd pick Sub-Zero and have them fight against each other. But they're not really, like, core to the storyline. Okay, the storyline, again, is about the tournament. It's about Shang Tsung. If you lose 10 Mortal Kombats, then Never Realm invades Earth Realm or whatever the hell. Again, I think the scriptwriter just overthought this whole, the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, that's what's most important. It's about that. Not really. And it kind of sets you up, again, to have this character, Cole, who ends up having a relationship to Scorpion. We'll talk about that. I feel like it gets off on the wrong foot. Because Cole is boring.
Your marking comes from your lineage, Cole.
Lineage? I'm an orphan from the south side of Chicago.
Now, as I was watching this movie, I was getting a lot of, like, flashbacks to the Matrix. I felt like Cole was trying to be this movie's Keanu Reeves, like Neo. He's supposed to be like a fish out of water guy who finds out about this tournament and, this whole secret thing, and he's the chosen one or whatever else. It feels very inspired by the Matrix, to the point where Cole almost kind of looks like Keanu Reeves. The problem is that even though, people say Keanu Reeves doesn't, show emotion well, doesn't emote well, I still felt connected to his character in The Matrix. Like, it still felt like a guy who was, struggling to understand this world, and, like, I empathized with him or whatever else. Cole is not interesting or funny or... He's nothing. He's like a wet blanket of a character. He's so boring. And what makes him even more boring is his boring-ass family, okay? Now, that's another comparison I want to make to The Matrix. Okay, The Matrix was all about Neo. And Neo's motivation was that he was a loner, finding his way in the world. I think it worked much better. I was also thinking about Ant-Man, because Ant-Man's another character who has a family. But as we see, like, he's unable to spend time with his daughter because he just got out of prison. He's struggling to find a job, whatever else. Like, there, even though he kind of had a family, like, he was broken up with his wife. He didn't, even though she was still in his wife, they clearly divorced and she had a new husband. Like, you want your character to start from a position of, like, down on his luck, like, truly down on your luck. But Cole's already achieved, I don't know, he has a family.
They tried to kill my family. Well, I'm willing to die for my family.
Go! Be with your family!
He's already theoretically in a happy place. We see him and it's like, yeah, I'm a beat down, whatever, fighter, and I'm not as good as I used to be. But he's got a wife and a kid who love him. So, like, this doesn't work. Cole finds out he's got a magic tattoo. And the magic tattoo means you've been chosen to fight in Mortal Kombat. Now, most people who get the tattoo, they get it, like, randomly on in their life. Like, somewhere in the middle of their life, they suddenly get chosen for the tournament, and the thing appears on them. He's had it since birth. Why? Because he's the latest descendant of Scorpion.
Your marking comes from your lineage, Cole.
Lineage? I'm an orphan from the south side of Chicago.
Which I guess they don't really explain why did Scorpion have it? Was Scorpion always one of the fighters in Mortal Kombat, and his kid gets it for some reason? If other people with the mark have kids, did their kids get the mark too? They don't explain that at all. So Cole is connected to Scorpion. That's why he's in the movie. That's why we have this guy that we don't know anything about. I assume they're going to make him the new Scorpion. I assume. I don't know, because he doesn't get, like, a cool fighter name at the end of the movie. I don't know what they're trying to set this guy up for. If at some point he had come out and said, I'm Scorpion, at least we could have left this movie and been like, oh, that was Scorpion, okay. But he's not. Okay, the dead guy's Scorpion. He comes back. It's a whole thing. So, Cole is Scorpion, and the reason that they have him have a family... Again, I feel like the writer really overthought this. Scorpion's family died to Sub-Zero, right? His wife and his kid got killed by Sub-Zero. And then we're going to have, echoes across time, mirror, whatever the hell. Sub-Zero now is going to come for Scorpion's descendant and kill his wife and kid too. But this time, things have changed and they managed to prevent it. Okay. It's not that interesting. You should have just made the main character Liu Kang. It would have been so much easier. I don't understand. No one cares about Cole. We're never going to care about Cole. You have hundreds of Mortal Kombat characters you could have picked. If you go to see a Mario movie, would you want it to star Mario's son, Jario? Okay, if you go see a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, should they introduce you to Blonick? Blonick the Hedgehog? No, you want to see the characters you already know. I hate to say it. Fan service. So Cole's been chosen for the tournament, something. Jax comes and meets him and is like, your mark means it's tournament time. You gotta be in the tournament. I'll stop Sub-Zero. Jax fights Sub-Zero. This is the second real fight in the movie, and this is where you know things are starting to go wrong. Because this fight sucks. It is not nearly as good as that first fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. It's okay. It's got some real bad dialogue. We were joking because in the middle of the fight, Jax says,
Done 6 tours, motherfucker.
Jax, how is that relevant? Did you do a lot of hand-to-hand fighting against ISIS? I've done 6 tours. Okay, well, you're fighting an ice ninja, so, are you just saying you're generically a tough guy? That line doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's cool, again, there are some cool special effects in this movie. It's cool to see Jax get his arms frozen off. But the fight clearly is lacking some of the same choreography as the opening. It doesn't look nearly as good as the opening. The set's not as interesting. It's not lit as well, which makes me wonder if they had different fight choreographers for some of these fights. I'm not sure if they use the same, you know, director, cinematographer, whatever, for these different fights, because they feel very different from each other. And this, again, this is where you start to realize, oh, the movie's not going to be as good as that opening. That opening was perfect, and the rest of the movie is not ever going to reach those heights again. And it's a little bit of a letdown. Jax goes, you got to go meet Sonya Blade. He goes to meet Sonya Blade. Sonya Blade tells him all about the tournament. I did laugh at the dumb little joke where she's like, it's called Mortal Kombat. It's a whole thing. And Cole goes, is this a joke?
It just kind of sounds like you made it up. I mean, and look, they spelled it wrong.
Hey.
Because Mortal Kombat spelled with a K. Okay, I know it was like edgy 90s spelling, but it is really funny. All right, movie. You got a good joke in there. And then we meet what is maybe the only good character in the movie.
Oh, hello, sunshine.
Who are you?
It's Kano.
Kano. Kano what?
Kano, none of your fucking business.
My God. My God. This guy who played Kano, I looked up his name and I lost it. Who cares? Kano is the best thing in the whole movie.
Arms dealer, drug runner, murder for hire, scum of the earth.
I also give really good foot massages.
And the filmmakers, I think, failed to realize that Kano is the best thing in the movie. Because, again, everybody else is taking things way too seriously, and it's super boring as a result. Cole is all serious. I want to find my way in life, and I want to find... Okay, Sonya Blade's like, I gotta help Earthrealm, and I don't have a tattoo, so I'm sad. Jackson's like, I was in the army, and now my arms don't work because they got frozen. It's like, dude, shut up. Can anyone have fun in this movie? Can anyone be like, you know, joking around, palling around, have a little bit of fun? And thankfully, Kano is there. And this guy plays it perfectly. My buddy said he's like an evil Chris Hemsworth kind of guy. I'm like, yeah, yeah. The same kind of jokey, fun attitude.
Make yourself at home.
Yeah, I have. Oh, by the way, your beer's shit, and you're almost out of it.
And Kano's great because, I don't know, everybody else is about finding their destiny and whatever else. Kano just wants superpowers. He's just like Liu Kang throws a fireball, and Kano's like, that's fucking awesome. Teach me how to do that right now.
Does that mean I'm going to get superpowers at any point?
It does, doesn't it?
There's much to learn.
The fuck?
Like, I love this guy. And he's fun the whole time. He's ripping on everybody. He's making little jokes. He's trying to steal stuff from the temple.
Now put that back.
Put what back?
Me and my buddies who were watching this were like, dude, is Kano going to be on the good side? Because he's the best guy right now. And we were all like, oh man, if the movie just like keeps him with the good guys, like then I'll be happy. But they screw it up. They screw it up and they make Kano a bad guy. It was the worst decision. He was the only thing holding the movie together. You know what you do when you're shooting the footage and realize Kano's got all the best lines and he's the only fun character in the movie? You go and you take the script and you rewrite it and you go, you know that whole thing where Kano betrays them? Get rid of it. It's gone. Get rid of it. In the movie, there's a dumb, stupid lightning barrier that's keeping all the bad people away. Kano shoots it. He gets his superpowers. He gets his laser eye. He's super excited about it. Okay, but then he uses it to shatter the barrier and become a bad guy. I'm like, no! No, keep him on the side of the good guys. He's the only good guy in the movie. And it's fun that he's like an asshole and he's fighting with Sonya Blade. You can have so much fun with that by keeping him with those characters.
You all saw that.
Laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy!
Now, one thing that we did not expect watching this movie, there's a part where they go and they're like, we're going to train here to unlock our Arcana. I want to make a point about the Arcana and the sets. Let me talk about the sets first. My buddy was like, what a shitty set. What a shitty little set. Because it is. It looks like, I don't know. It's a tiny little arena filled with sand. It looks like garbage. And in the whole set, this whole, you know, subterranean cave layer, it's all clearly styrofoam painted to look like rocks. The whole cave looks terrible. And I was like, dude, whatever. It's fine. Because you know what's going to happen? They're just going to train here. It's going to be a couple training sets. And then we're going to move on to the actual tournament. I was so wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Two things. One, they never leave that tiny little set. All the fights happen there, and it becomes comical. It becomes comical. You have, like, one scene where, like, Jax and Sonya get, like, blasted, and, like, they're on the edge of that arena, like, maybe about to fall off. Or then you cut to Kung Lao fighting in the arena, and you're like, so where are Jax and Sonya? They're just, like, slightly off screen. It's such a small set, and everybody is there having fights, like, in turn. They're, like, taking turns having fights, but not like turns as dictated by the storyline. It's just kind of like, okay, those guys are a little out of frame, so now let's bring these guys in and have them fight. Like, it feels so weird. It's so claustrophobic. Now, the second thing is, going into this movie, I assumed they would train, then they would go to the Mortal Kombat tournament, and again, this would be a movie about the Mortal Kombat tournament. That's what all the games are about. No, there is no tournament in this movie. This movie is about Shang Tsung has decided that he wants to stack the tournament in his favor, so he's gonna go to Earth and assassinate everybody with the tattoo before they can fight in the tournament. This whole movie is a setup for a sequel, is what we find out. At the end of it, Cole goes, I gotta go find this guy, Johnny Cage, because we're gonna make a sequel, and that one's gonna be the real movie that has a tournament. You tricked me. So, what happens is, again, they have the reason they're training is to unlock their Arcana, which is this movie's makes no sense. It's one of those things that makes no sense. You gotta unlock your magic powers. Okay, that makes sense for some people. Liu Kang had to figure out how to throw a fireball. Fine. Kano has to learn how to shoot a laser. Okay, that doesn't feel like a magic arcana you can unlock. I feel like a laser is more of a science thing. But fine. Jax's arcana is the ability to have his regular robot, baby arms come larger robot arms. I don't... I know you don't want me to think about this movie. I know you just want me to be like, yeah, magic can do that. Magic can make your robot arms bigger. Doesn't really work. Same with Kung Lao. His magic arcana power is what? His hat has a razor blade. Cole unlocks his arcana. What is it? It's this terrible looking rubber armor. It looks so bad. I know it's supposed to look like it's some cool like metal thing or whatever, but it's just clear he's wearing this like cast rubber suit. And he also gets these little Tonkana things with blades on them. Again, who cares? Why? It's this scriptwriter overthinking things. It's not just like, oh, Kano can shoot lasers out of his eye. Liu Kang can shoot fireballs. Like, there's got to be a reason for it. No, there doesn't. Liu Kang can just shoot fireballs. Use magic. That's fine. Nobody's going to question it. Just say, I don't know, I've trained a long time, and this is my special power. So we get to the end of the movie. It ends with they gotta defeat Sub-Zero, because they've decided that this movie, again, is about Scorpion and the descendant of Scorpion fighting Sub-Zero. And again, after a bunch of crappy fights... Okay, real quick, I do have to mention, Kung Lao turning his hat into a spinny razor blade that he then sends a lady flying through. Fine. There are some stuff like that looks awesome. Goro fight looks stupid as hell. He looks like the Hulk or like one of those Warcraft orcs or something. Looks terrible. So again, it's all uneven. Some of the fights, it's like, you're like, why didn't you just do more of the buzzsaw stuff? That looks awesome. Why didn't you do that for everything? And then you have other terrible fights that just look terrible. Like, you got Jax fighting on a bridge. I mean, I guess he crushes the guy's head, which is kind of cool, but I don't know. Some of the fights look good, some of them look lame, but the only ones that really stand out, again, are that opening fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and then the return battle, where Scorpion, travels through, I don't know, the Hell Realm, Nether, whatever it's called in this stupid, I don't know, the Mortal Kombat franchise, travels back into our realm to fight his old enemy, Sub-Zero, and it's great. It's great. It doesn't look as good as the first battle, because it's set in this awful ice. It's some stupid UFC arena that Cole used to fight in, though now it's covered in ice. Okay, it's coming full circle. Ooh, he used to be a bad fighter in this ring, and now he's a good fighter. All right, I get it. But Scorpion versus Sub-Zero looks awesome. There's one point. Sub-Zero cuts Scorpion, and with the blood that comes out of Scorpion, he freezes it in midair. It stabs Scorpion with his own blood. It's so cool. And again, me and my buddies were watching this, and we're like, this is all we want. We're simple men. We're simple, stupid idiots. Why not just make a movie that's all fights? with like no plot. And definitely none of this Cole and his stupid family. We don't care about Cole. No one does, no one will. This movie could have been great. Clearly, whoever they got for some of these fight scenes had the right idea. Clearly, the CG people who are sitting there and they're like, how can we make a lady go through a buzzsaw hat? Okay, those guys, you got a head on your shoulders. Again, blood knife. Great ideas. Just do that. Get rid of all this. It's nonsense. I don't care. I don't care about Shang Tsung behind the scenes and he's trying whatever and he wants to assassinate the people, and Raiden, who's played by that one guy who's been in the Thor movies, but in this movie just like has such a heavy Japanese accent that it's comical.
The gods are forbidden from engaging in one realm's war against another.
You're like, ugh. I mean, I know that it's apparently whitewashing to have Christopher Lambert play Raiden, but I don't know. He was fun. Again, nobody's fun in this movie. Go watch the original Mortal Kombat movie. It's fun. Okay? Johnny Cage is having fun. Raiden's having fun. Even, I think, Liu Kang and Sonya are joking around a little bit in this movie. And in this new movie, everybody is just so serious about what is ultimately, it's stupid. It's people who can breathe fire and shoot lasers and make their hats fly around. Why are you taking it so seriously? So ultimately what we have is a movie that is just a lead into a sequel that I'm not excited for. It's a bad lead up to a sequel with people who aren't fun and with some fights that are good, but a lot of fights that are bad. I mean, yes, you should watch it. You should watch it. If you're going to watch anything, just watch the opening. I swear to God. Watch that first, I don't know how long it is, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I could watch that 5-6 times. It looks fantastic. Then maybe every scene you see Cole and his stupid family in, just skip. Just skip past it. Not worth watching. There's a lot to like in this movie. Kano, again, is great. Every Kano scene you should watch. But again, mostly everybody in this movie is just boring. I was bored. I was bored. When people weren't getting cut open, when they weren't getting their heads smashed in, when they weren't getting cut in half, I was bored. And that's the worst thing I could say about a Mortal Kombat movie. You shouldn't be bored watching a Mortal Kombat movie. You should be excited about all that friggin' blood raining down from the sky. That's what we want, us the true Mortal Kombat fans. And if they do make a sequel, I hope that's what they focus on. Not Cole! I don't care about Cole. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want more cool Mortal Kombat videos, please check out my new series, Best Movie Ever, where me and my pal Andy Signore try our best to defend the movie Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's a very bad movie, but surprisingly, we found some things we liked about it. Go check it out. It's hilarious. Peace.